Hi guys, Swansea City is here, back again for another video, and today it's a match preview against Millwall. Now, Millwall's last result was a 0-0 draw to Barnsley, and Swansea's last result was a 1-0 defeat to Luton Town. So both clubs are in the relegation zone. Barnsley and Luton, and Swansea and Millwall both failed to beat and score against them. So both teams have struggled since lockdown, to be honest. Well, more Millwall have struggled since lockdown. They've yet to pick up a win, but Swansea, inconsistencies costing us yet again. We've seen before lockdown, we were really inconsistent, drawing to the likes of Hull City 4-4 with on dire form, beating Wigan, and then drawing to the likes of Cardiff, losing 5-1 to QPR. There's just no consistency with us, and we've seen that again. After lockdown, we thought we could beat a barrel after beating Middlesbrough 3-0. We thought we could beat the consistency. We could have a bit of consistency. No, we lost 1-0 to Luton. So, again, what could happen in this game? Both teams are really inconsistent. Like I said, both teams are kind of fighting for playoffs, but it's a must-win game for both teams. Whoever drop points in this game, they're out of the race, in my opinion. It's unlikely for Swansea or Millwall to get into that top six, but football is football, and the Championship especially is a really unpredictable league, and with 7 games left of the season and Swansea and Millwall 4 and 5 points off the playoffs respectively, who knows what could happen. But this game is massive for any club's chance of getting into that top 6. So injury news is one key injury for Millwall anyway, who won't be playing in this game, is that Aidan O'Brien. For Swansea, Jordan Garrick serving his first game of his 3-match suspension after having a red card against Luton, and I think Mike van der Holm won't be fit for this game. Even though he's back in full training, I don't think he'll be risked for this game. With the likes of Joe Rodon, Burson Salina, Jan Danda potentially get a start. At the end of the day, we need to see some creativity in our team. We got Conor Gallagher, who's a really good player, but I just think he needs an extra bit of help because all the weight is on Conor's shoulders, and he's a young lad. This is his first proper season away from Chelsea, and we can't keep relying on Conor Gallagher. Some of the other players have got to have some weight on their shoulders, like Ayew in the summer, who's absolutely carrying us. And I'd like to see some other players pick up their performances and start carrying the team or play as a team. That's what we haven't seen this season. And especially after Saturday's performance, there wasn't one player who took the game by the scruff of the neck. Every player was waiting for someone else to do the business for them, and that was one real poor performance from us. And it just sums up our season, really. That goal, there's a lack of closing down by Matt Grimes, who's supposed to be our captain and leader. Cabango done very well this season, but he misjumps his header. Connor Roberts has not had a good season, and he didn't track his man. And then Woodman, who's had a good season, but again, I think a player of his quality should be saving that. So a couple of players who had a mistake for that Luton goal. And I think if any of you saw my live stream, I was really frustrated by our performance and especially the result. So I do have an opposition fan on Millwall Drive Home known as TT. Please go and subscribe to him. I really enjoy his content. I like his match reviews in the car, especially after Millwall lose, because he does like a good rant. But make sure you go and drop him a subscription. Here's what TT's got to say about Millwall's chances tomorrow evening.
This is TT for the Millwall Drive Home. Thank you, Reese, for inviting me onto your channel for a quick preview for the upcoming game between Millwall and Swansea at the Den with no fans, coming up on Tuesday. What's that, tomorrow already? Time is flying. Since the return of football, we haven't been great, to be honest. We've had 2 subpar performances, a 3-2 defeat at home to Derby, and then a woeful bore draw away at Barnsley, where it finished 0-0. We created a couple of chances, hit the underside of the bar from a free kick, but we're just not creating enough as a team at the moment. However, we have got it in us. Obviously, last time out against Swansea was the 1-0 win with a Jed Wallace cracking free kick, and I felt that we deserved the 3 points at the Liberty Stadium, but I know a few of the Swansea fans weren't particularly happy with the referee, although...
Absolutely disgusting. Cheers, ref. You ruined my birthday.
Looking back at it, there was a couple of contentious decisions that we didn't get. A potential red card as a player was through that caused the free kick for Jed, and a penalty that we should have got. But swings and roundabouts in Championship football. Looking forward to the game at home. I believe if we start with the back 5 that we've had, and then 2 holding midfielders with the 3 players up front, I think if we overload you in midfield, I think we've got every chance of picking up 3 points. It's a must-win for both sides going into to try and get the playoffs. Obviously, Swansea not picking up any points away at Luton was a massive disappointment, especially after absolutely drubbing Middlesbrough in the first game back. I don't do score predictions, because it's an absolute fool's game in the Championship. It literally could go either way. If I had my money, it would be on a draw. But both teams need to win. And if we turn up, if Jed Wallace turns up, it'll be 3 points to the Lions. Thanks for inviting me onto your video again, Reese. No one likes us. We don't care.
So thanks TT for coming on, really appreciate that, mate. Like I said, go and subscribe to him, all that good stuff, because he's a really good lad, and best luck for Millwall for the rest of the season. Not tomorrow though. But on to my score prediction now. Last week no one had their score prediction right against Luton, so no one will be shouted out on this preview. If you do want to shout out though, you've got to get the score prediction right. You don't have to get the scorers right. And if you do get the score right for tomorrow evening's game, you'll be featured on to Saturday's preview against Sheffield Wednesday. So my score prediction: every time I'm negative, we seem to win. Every time I'm positive, we seem to lose. We saw that last week. I was really negative against Middlesbrough. You know, I said 0-0. I said, it's going to be a boring game. We won 3-0. I said against Luton, I'm a bit more positive. I think we'll put a few goals past Luton. Didn't even score and we lost. So I'm going to be negative, and hopefully has an influence on our game, and hopefully that makes us win. So I'm going negative. I'm going to go a 1-1 draw. Millwall goal scorer, I'm going to go for John Body Bavatsson, I believe. And then for Swansea City, I'll go for Andre Ayew. Let me know your score predictions down in the comments below. Team news. Now this is going to be an interesting one. Who deserves to play, who deserves to be dropped, because there's a few contenders to be dropped. So this is my lineup. I'm going to change the system as well. You know, I think Millwall are going to pack the midfield similar to Luton, which is why we could struggle. But I'm not going to go for Cooper's team. I'm going to go for, if I was the manager, this is the team I'd go for. So I'd go for a diamond formation, 4-3-1-2. In goals, I go for Freddie Woodman. Right back, I go for Kyle Norton. Left back, Jake Bidwell. Two centre backs, Joe Rodon and Ben Wilmot. The three in midfield, Jay Falter, Matt Grimes, Conor Gallagher. The number 10 role, Burson Selina. And up front, Rhian Brewster and Andre Ayew. Now, I'll say why I think that should be the team. Right, up front, Andre Ayew and Rhian Brewster. Ayew is very wasted on that left or right hand side wherever he plays, wherever Cooper chooses to play. He's very wasted. You know, a player of Andre Ayew's calibre and, you know, his physical attributes deserve to be up front. And we've seen that in December when he was playing up front. He scored a lot of goals in December. And since he's moved back to the wing position, he's not scored as many goals. So I'd like to see him up front with Rhian Brewster, because Brewster struggled Saturday massively against two big centre-halves in Carter Vickers and Jackson, I believe. You know, they were very physical, and that's not Brewster's side of the game, the physicality. His game is counter-attacking, pace and stuff like that. So I think if you can go up front with Brewster, Brewster will really influence the team more. Conor Gallagher, now I know it's not his favourite position being that box-to-box midfielder, especially in the centre of the park, but I just think we need Selina back in there, someone a bit creative as well, someone who can change the game, and, you know, someone who can take a decent free kick. I think our last non-competitive goal from a free kick was Burson Selina last year against Exeter City. Now that was a really good free kick, and, you know, I know Selina and Cooper doesn't really get along, but I think Cooper's got to take wherever his issue with Selina and bring him back in, because the fans need to see it, and we just need to see something different, because it's just getting repetitive now. It's the same substitutions, and, you know, 35-year-old Wayne Routledge, is he going to really influence the game against Luton? You know, Jan Dander should be coming on. I think Joe Rodon should come in for Ben Cabango, just because Cabango's 19. You know, he kind of made a mistake. He was a bit sloppy on Saturday, and, you know, he's young, and we don't really want to overuse him, and hopefully he can have a rest. And Wilmot was really good Saturday as well, probably our best player on the pitch. Let me know your lineup. What would your lineup be? I'm quite interested in you guys, what you would pick. You know, I highly doubt Cooper's going to change his system, but we just need to see something different. I really like Steve Cooper, and there's a few people who call him Cooper out, which I just think is ludicrous, to be honest. Why do you want a manager out when we're only 4 points off the playoffs and the season's nearly over? You know, we don't have that much money, and who else are we going to bring in? We're not going to bring in an experienced championship manager. It'll be, if we are to bring in a new manager, it'll be someone quite relatively new, like a Graham Potter or Steve Cooper, who were unknown at the time to the majority of Swans fans, so you're not going to get a big name in it anyway. That's going to be it for today's video. Please hit a like button, comment, subscribe. Thanks for TT for coming on my channel as well. Make sure you do put your score predictions in the comment section down below. Like I said 1-1. I think it'll be a tight game. I will be doing a watch along though tomorrow evening. The stream will be starting at 10 to 5. It's a 5 o'clock kick-off tomorrow on Sky Sports, so hopefully you can join me for that, and hopefully it'll be a win. Great support recently as well. I think my Middlesbrough one's on 7,500 and my Luton's one's nearly on 4,000. so great support. I know some people only come in to watch a rage and stuff, but like I said, I'm not fake. I do reactions which are true. I don't lie to the camera. Whatever you see on camera is what I'm like off camera. I just don't see the point in lying. So if you do get offended by my swearing, I can't really help that because I'm natural and it's live. So, and I'm not going to fake my reactions for the camera. So like I said, tomorrow 10 to 5, watch along, don't miss that. Hopefully Swans can beat Millwall at the Den, and hopefully Swans do not let me down.
I need a one more chance, oh baby, let me show you. I need a one more chance, oh.